So I'm sitting for my, no, this is when I was 18. Yeah, 19, 19. Yeah, 19. I had my nuts cracked and when I was 18, had the baby when I was 19. So 19, they trying to shoot my boy up with the shit, but I wouldn't let them. But I think they did it like after we went home that night while she was asleep because my son always had problems with his right foot to this day. He has problems with his right ankle. So I think they stuck my boy, without me knowing. But I'm just waiting on him to start like having these vivid ass dreams and shit too. But I'm because I'm watching. But yeah, they stuck me with a chip for 20 years. They followed me. They had something in my throat, swallowed it after 21 years. And I pulled that thing out my ankle after 21 years because it got so bad. So again, have anything ever happened to you guys like that? Have you guys within the Generation X energy seen anything like that? It's the reason they call us Generation X. They turned us into X-Man. They gave us super soldier serum. They gave us some shit, all these booster shots and shit that we were taking. They had to alter our DNA way back then, I think. Did you ever tell your grandmama and mom about your trip? Yes, they didn't believe me. They just said, boy, you got an active imagination because I used to watch Star Trek. Spock was my man, so they just were like, you got an active imagination. No, I didn't have an active fucking imagination. It happened. Why was my arm sore? Why couldn't I lift my arms? Why when I came back, I slept for 3 days? My body changed. Why you take a stuttering ass little boy with squinted ass eyes, and after 3 days, I can formulate complete sentence and read everything? What happened? Jesus? They boosted my ass up with some shit, made me better. I'm telling you what happened to the people. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe I made it up. I'm telling, but some dreams are so fucking real and so vivid that I can remember how it affected my life. A dream should not affect your life. You should not link your dreams with your life. If I had a dream I was on a bullet train and I went to Washington, D.C., in my mind, why the fuck was my arm sore after taking those shots in the dream? In real life, my arm should be okay. Why did I find that thing in my throat like a triangle? Why did I find that rice looking thing in my right ankle? I'm at the right heel of my foot. Why did I find that in real life 20 years later? They did something to us Gen X. They put something in all of our Gen X's kids and all of our children when we had them 46, 50, that energy there. They put something in our children. I really do believe they put something in our children because we all took the polio. What was in that fucking polio? It tasted really nice. We chewed it and it inoculated us from polio. What was in that damn stuff? Do they give kids polio? You don't hear about it. I didn't hear about it. Maybe y'all having babies. The people out there having babies. Did y'all think about that? I'm just telling you what happened to me as a 6-year-old kid all the way growing up. And believe it or not, I never really got sick as a child. Growing up, I never got sick. I would get sick once every 5 years and all of the pain would come out. Then I would catch what we call here in the South risings. Some people call them pip jennies, but the technical term for them is boils. I probably get one boil on my ass or one boil on my arm right in this area here. And it'll sit there for about 7, 8 days. And then once it start healing, the skin around it will peel shit like because it would kill all the skin. But then when you bust it open, it stuck like a motherfucker. That was all the toxins in your body accumulating at one point. I didn't get sick. I would just catch boils like once every 3 to 5 years. And once that happened, it was good. See, people, I'm asking the questions. What actually happened to us? What did they do to Gen X babies? What did they do to our babies, Gen X babies? Because our kids really not having babies. Our kids, they 26, 27. They, I don't want no kid. So what did they do to us and our baby? I remember that. And I remember those two men in black dudes and the one guy with the gray suit, with the white shirt and the red bow tie. And he cursed my mama out like it wasn't shit. And demanded DCL step in and take us, but they didn't let DCL take me from my mom. She was calling me all kind of names in there. And he was like, this boy's a genius. Then they moved me to the class where they had me solving mathematical equation problems. And to this day, math is not my strong suit. When I was in college, man, I prayed to learn how to pass that math class, and I passed that bitch with a low C. That's how I got my degree. That I saved that bitch to the end. I just cannot do math. I don't know what are your probabilities and shit. Baby, that shit, that math will fuck the pre-cap. Man, fuck math. I'll write you a story for you do a damn, put together a damn sequence. I can't do math. Maybe they burnt me out as a jit. Monica or Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Damn. ME, you just unlocked another memory. So listen, I remember the Asian girl I got on the bus with by the name of Monica. Yeah. Monica was the Asian girl I got on the bus with. The teacher name was Miss Kelly, but Miss Harriet adopted an Asian girl by the name of Kelly that looked identical to Monica. So they kind of ran into, because I remember the same hairstyle. And then why did she greet me when I said, "Hey, Kelly"? And she gave me a hug like she knew me. Do you think that they planted that girl around me as a child, like to watch me? Because she was my accountability partner. And what's the odds that my godmama, the lady my mama named my godparent, would adopt the Asian girl from an adoption agency, and it would happen to be an Asian girl. To me and her was very cool together. You just thank you for listening. That yeah, it was Monica in school, but Kelly was the one Mrs. Harriet adopted. Yeah, and Miss Harriet's husband is the one who gave me the name Type. Damn, I always thought that was the same girl, but you're right, her name was Monica. And then Miss Harriet adopted, but they was very much similar. I remember the goofiness, they arm her down, and she just never like really, she would turn, she like, she was like that goofy shit. Whew, you just unlocked something. See, that's why we people, when we have these experiences, we have to talk about this type, because the more we talk about it, the more we can understand what happened, and the more we can let that shit go. But that shit been holding on to me. Oh, excuse me for y'all. I've always been afraid to talk about it, man, because with all this crazy shit on TV, the people know this motherfucking nuts. I ain't crazy. I got all my intelligence. I don't want to die. I love life. I got shit going on. I got plans, baby. I'm doing good. Look good. I feel good. Doing good. Oh, I ain't suicidal, none of that shit. I love my life, love my kids, love everything about me. Love the weight loss shit. I'm moving things. So come up missing. I ain't do it. They did it. When y'all was young, try to think back. Do y'all remember getting on a bullet train in elementary school, 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, when you first went to elementary after pre-K? If you lived in the hood like me, 90% of the time you did. Do y'all remember the kids that was down the 100 hallway, the special needs hallway, how nobody really went down that hallway and we made fun of those kids, and they always had a teacher to watch over them. They would have a teacher take them to lunch and everything, and these kids were just like retardo superstar, but then at the end of the day, they're released. But while they was in school, they always had to have somebody beside them. I remember that. After that man in that gray suit with the red bow tie talked to my mama, they took me out of special ed and put me in advanced class. And I did my 5th grade year, Ivy Lane Elementary School, in advanced class. Then I went to middle. For all of us people, and I'm saying us, for all of those people that was special ed, it doesn't mean loose in the brain, retarded, cherry brain. I know some words you can't say, handicapable. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm an old school. You get offended, that's on you. For the people that was in those special ed classes, how many of y'all can remember exactly what y'all did in those classes besides sit down and color? Half of y'all can remember that y'all colored. Half of y'all don't know the lesson, y'all just remember being in the class. Them telling you special ed, going down that hallway and everything different. You don't know if they snuck us out the back door. You don't know if they had people in there running experiments. You don't know the because we ate different lunch than everybody else. We went to a different lunch time. The cafeteria was all special needs kids, special ed kids, and then the regular kids come in after we leave. They isolated our asses. You think they isolate us because we was considered retard, or they isolate us because they was working with a project and they didn't want us to get influenced. They were trying to solve these equations, that the universal equation that these aliens sent down, or that these demonic spirits tried to solve, and you can only use the innocence and purity of a child, but we have to be boosted. So I ask questions. I don't know how to put it together all pretty and make it think. I ask questions. Y'all go into y'all goddamn memory. They just, I know they had my slow ass up in that bit, but my mama called me all them names, that dude said I was a genius, I was smart. He put me in the 300 hallway with about 13 other kids, including that little Asian girl. Yep. That's what happened. So that's my story, people. I want you guys to recognize. You guys better sit down, and when you meditate, instead of trying to meditate on all your money and prosperity and shit like that, try to meditate to unlock some of these memories so you can learn the memories, so you can learn about yourself on this earth plane before we try to dive into the spiritual. It's probably, you got superpowers that you could tap in right now without having to use Jesus or Buddha, Allah, Namaste now. You can tap into this shit now if you just realize what they did to you. And if you can remember doing something as a child, I'm pretty sure you can reenact it as an adult with concentration and meditation. And who's to say, reason why they say them Asians so good at math, who's to say they not dosing them Asians up when they come over here and having them solve the math problem? Because we in the hood. Why the fuck an Asian person going to the hood? They own stores in the hood. They don't live there. Those Asians was orphaned. And that man kept telling them to take them from my mama and make me an orphan, but the principal didn't do that. So then I was watching the shit on Terry, they called them orphan trains when they would put kids on these bullet trains and send them. And then they got pictures and evidence of this shit. If they had light speed transportation back there to ship Cabbage Patch Kids and everything off to different cities, you telling me they couldn't ship our ass off to the Smithsonian and get tested and drugged up? I think it happened, people. I really do believe it happened. And I'm so glad y'all heard was listening to what I'm saying. The girl Monica and the girl Kelly was identical. Miss Harriet adopted Kelly, but Monica was her name in the 6th grade, and we grew up to school together. Then Miss Harriet adopted when I left elementary school and got into 6th grade. She was Miss Harriet adopted daughter, Kelly. I remember that. And Miss Harriet was my godmama. What's the odds? So they made that girl my accountability partner, that little Asian girl, my accountability partner in life until I grew up and guess we didn't need it. All right, everybody. I'm the Baron telling you guys to trust in you and the universe because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Please like, share, and subscribe. People, please look into your mind and see if this happened to you. We all may be linked. This is Generation X, the Gen Xers. Maybe it happened to you and you were suppressing it, but look into your memory and see can you figure it out. I would love to chat with you guys offline about. All right, everybody, have fun.